welcome back to the Unbiased Opinion, where everyone's opinion is biased except ours. I believe this is our 21st episode of doing this nonsense. So I'm Colin, of course.
I'm Craig.
All right.
And I'm Batman.
I knew that was coming. So today we're going to be talking about the original quadrilogy of Batman movies. It includes the Batman 89, Batman Returns, Batman Forever, and Batman and Robin. All great films, as we're about to get into. And I guess as a whole, I think out of this quadrilogy, there's only one good Batman movie. And that's the 89 one. Everything else is kind of bad. Or I should say, it's bad to really bad. That's the range of quality they're in.
I was gonna say honestly my favorite one is probably Batman and Robin. Hot take.
Oh, okay. All right.
Actually, I was gonna say the same thing. It's so bad, but it's so great.
I get
All
a
right.
kick out of watching it.
Oh, okay. I think the 89 one is the best. At least it's the best made movie.
I do agree with that. Like it's
Yeah,
definitely the
Nothing
best,
like the
but
schlock that will come
yeah,
afterwards.
yeah. I was gonna say it definitely takes itself seriously, and it's a well put together movie. But in terms of like as it goes down, I just overall enjoyment. I like Batman and Robin.
What is wrong with you?
You have no right to
you're
talk
hey, you're
after
the hey,
you forced us to watch Expelled and I Girlfriend. No right to talk.
it's that you're outnumbered here this time.
I am. So let's start with the 89 Batman, which has Jack Nicholson as the Joker and Michael Keaton as the Batman. And I think what's really strange about this movie is that as the audience, we know more about the Joker than we do about Batman. And I don't know if that's a good thing per se, because we know more about the Joker's origin, and he actually has a name. He's some gangster thug who killed Batman's parents, and not much is really known about Batman besides he's a recluse.
I mean, I would say that's usually a bad thing because usually the less you know about someone like the Joker, the better. Because I feel like they work better when you know less about them.
Yes.
There's like gaps in his backstory. That doesn't really matter how he got there. It's just he's the Joker. So I've always
Yep.
felt like that worked better.
Yeah, or also too like them trying to like make it a personal connection between him and Batman.
I don't mind that much though if they're trying to, part of it what it is. If it was a Jared Leto kind of Joker that had this revenge or not, he killed Batman's parents, it'd be terrible because Jared Leto as Joker was just horrific. It was a disaster watching. But Jack Nicholson was pretty good, and at the time, he didn't really have much competition. He wasn't facing a Heath Ledger as Joker, so for what it was at the time, he was pretty good as the Joker.
Oh no, I think they did a pretty good job as Joker. They definitely went more for like a direct comic book adaptation where this Joker definitely feels very animated, like a cartoon character. Almost like I guess like the 60s, like the TV show one. As like Heath Ledger's is a little more grounded in realism. This one's definitely feels like more of a cartoon.
Oh no, what I was
Like I would
saying
say like
was,
a
oh, yeah, Craig, you
cartoon.
go. Yeah.
Was that a cartoon, but also more like a gangster, which I think was more like the '60s one.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't come off as like the serial killer sociopath. I guess he does in later movies and adaptations.
No, what I was saying was for the time, since there was nothing to compare him to,
Oh yeah,
it was good. He
Oh
wasn't.
no,
He
no,
didn't
I
have.
agree.
Yeah, he didn't have a Heath Ledger or even a Joaquin Phoenix to battle.
And Tim Burton. It definitely felt like a Tim Burton movie, but he definitely was going more for the comic book feel for it. And Jack Nicholson did a good job making with the take on Joker.
And I don't know about anything about Batman in the comics, but he actually kills a lot of people in this movie. He blows up
I
the
was
whole
gonna say.
factory
Yeah,
full of
yeah.
innocent people. And again, I'm not a Batman expert, so I don't know if he has that no killing rule in the comic or is that something Nolan implemented.
No, I'm
I
pretty sure it's
was
in the comic, but so this is actually the first time I've seen this movie, and I was caught off guard. Like how many people he was like straight up murdering.
yeah. I was gonna
He's
ask,
murdering a good amount.
did he intentionally drop Joker in that toxic like pit.
No, he tried to save him.
Because I guess might have been the way Keaton's facial expression was. It kind of like almost insinuated like he dropped him in on purpose.
I think he slipped out of his little glove because he was trying
Back
to.
glove.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the back glove. He was trying to pull him up. But he
yeah.
reflected with his gauntlets. The bullet he shot at him. And I guess I'll make this point that Michael Keaton, at least his facial expressions are definitely more intimidating as Batman. Not saying he's intimidating at all, but just his facial expressions look more menacing than, like, let's say Val Kilmer, who we'll get to, whose mouth is always open. I thought Michael Keaton did a really good job as Batman. I really do.
I mean, honestly, I would say the biggest knock for me against him is his chin. Like Batman needs to have like the strong chin to like, make the cowl look good. He
Who is
just
this
doesn't
guy
have
talking
it.
about other men's chins? What's wrong with you?
I'm just well saying like, Batman has to have like the chin.
Oh, so Ben Affleck's a good Batman then, by that logic, huh?
Well, like I think
Gotcha.
appearance wise, like if he was a cosplayer, he'd look good. When he was off the bottle. But
Oh, jeez. Or not, or getting
I
divorced too.
I'm just saying that's my only rule, I guess. It's not even like really a knock, more of like a nitpick, really. Like
That is
how
such an
Batman
odd
has to.
nitpick.
Well, again, Batman, he's got to have the chin. Like that's always in the adaptations. It's not even like a real complaint. You're making me look crazy now.
Because you are. You're talking
I
about
should
other
stop
men's
rambling.
chins. What's wrong with you?
Other people agree with me. Daniel agrees with me.
He doesn't.
I never really focus on Batman's chin.
Well, like that's how it makes the costume look convincing. Like, I'm gonna stop.
No, I
No,
think what makes the costume look
I'm
convincing
gonna quit while I'm ahead.
is the lighting, and if they don't have bat nipples on it. What is wrong with you?
I was just gonna say the nipple.
Or like the bat butt.
Or like the terrible bat abs that are so detailed. I thought this Batman suit looked pretty good too.
Yeah,
Because he's mostly in dark. There's not a scene of him in the middle of the day running around. Again, that's what.
no,
Yeah,
I
you
enjoyed
go.
Batman in this movie. I thought like especially his opening scene, like how he worked like moved in the shadows and stuff on the rooftops. Like I thought Keaton did a good job as Batman. Definitely, he's no Val Kilmer or Batflick, but he did a good job. And like his suit, I did like his suit. I know, um, he was pretty stiff. Like they couldn't really move the neck, so that's why
Exactly
like
wasn't
anytime
that
he,
bad.
yeah, especially like like when he looks up, he has to like move his entire upper body to look. But overall, I thought it was pretty good.
I think this is the best suit out of the original. I mean, I would take this suit also over the Dark Knight trilogy suit. I thought that one looked just so goofy.
I thought this one and the newest one, the Batman, I thought these were the best two suits.
Yeah,
I mean, is it
I
really
agree.
fair to say this is? I mean, it's the best suit by far out of the four, just because there's no bat nipples, no bat abs, no bat butt.
All right, Craig.
It wins by default.
You know what I'm trying to say. You know what? You keep talking about and dreaming about Batman's chin. All right.
I
You
don't say
keep
I'm
doing
dreaming
that.
about it. It's more of just, Batman's gonna have the Giga Chad chin,
What's
So
wrong with you?
The Crimson Chin.
I don't think there's really anything else to say. I know, Craig, you said you fell asleep during this.
I did.
What were the circumstances? Were you tired or
I was honestly just bored.
really?
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. Just I don't
There,
know. I
there were
guess
there were scenes that kind of like dragged on. I mean that the I will say that reporter Knox was insufferable. He annoyed me this whole movie.
Yeah, he was kind of bad.
He was like over the top, like stupid and
And
annoying.
Vicky Vale kept on screaming every time she was on screen.
Oh yeah, and
I
then
just
like commit. Wait, the one thing I didn't get, um, or like I was kind of confused for a second, um, was so did Commissioner Gordon know that Detective Eckert was dirty?
He might have. I don't know. That guy died so
Because
early in the movie.
yeah, no, yeah, Joker shoots him, but
Yeah.
but but like when they find out, like they were setting up. That Eckert was leading the operation to ultimately kill Joker in the beginning. He was set up by his crime boss. the one guy tells Commissioner Gordon about it, and like, oh, it's led by Eckert, and he was like, oh no. And then when they show up to the plant and Commissioner Gordon takes over, he says to Eckert, he goes, you and your men don't work for Grimson, you work for me. So I don't know if he kind of knew that he was dirty and just like wasn't doing anything about it.
Maybe it was just like an oversight because I don't
Yeah,
think they thought this through.
Yeah, they probably didn't.
yeah. No, it was just like a little like throwaway line. I was like, wait, so he knew he was dirty this whole time? But didn't realize that Lando Calrissian was Harvey Dent. I
Yes.
Yeah,
and
no, it caught me off guard too.
Yeah, because at first I was like, wait, he looks very familiar, and then I looked it up. I was like, oh, okay.
Billy D. Williams. Yeah. It's a shame
He
they
was
didn't
just like,
bring him
I
back.
don't know if he was a, 'cause I don't know if he was a big actor at the time, but I was just caught off guard, like why he's playing like guess such a. I mean, I guess he was supposed to be bigger later on, but like in this movie, he was just such a minor character.
But also to piggyback off of Craig's questioning Michael Keaton's qualifications as Batman. I know that at the time when they casted Keaton, it was like
Oh, he was hated.
controversial.
He was hated.
But I know that him and Burton had like a rapport together because they did Beetlejuice literally the year before this movie, so probably that helped with him getting like the role. But I know that he was more viewed as like a comedic actor at the time than a serious one.
Yeah, and
But
I
it's
thought
just
Keaton killed it besides Craig and his obsession with his lack of chin.
I said it was a nitpick.
Yeah, whatever.
not all men have
Whatever.
strong chins like Tom Brady, Craig.
Or Ben
Yeah,
Affleck.
okay.
You have to be a creep or you have to be an alcoholic, apparently, to have that kind of chin.
Wait, which one are we talking about, Affleck or Tom Brady?
And be divorced. Sorry.
Who are we talking about?
No, I'm talking about Ben Affleck.
Oh, okay, gotta clarify.
All right, so to summarize, I think the '89 Batman, pretty good, pretty good. Even though Craig fell asleep during it, pretty good, pretty good.
I fell asleep and then I rewatched it because, I'm not gonna review a movie without watching it, so I watched
Yeah.
it again.
No,
Are you
I
sure you
thought it
paid
was good.
attention during it, Craig? Because you're probably just looking at his lack of chin.
Well, he wasn't in every scene, so when the Joker was on, I was watching the Joker, not looking at his
Yeah.
chin.
How was the Joker's chin? Was that good too?
Well, Joker doesn't need to have a chin.
Weirdo.
The Joker, as long as he's got like the creepy smile, the green hair, yeah, it's fine.
But I do have to comment though, like there were some scenes with the Joker, like this is like where being a bit cartoonish took me a bit out of the movie. Was like when the Joker went to the museum, the art
When they started
museum. He
playing
like said,
Prince.
yeah, and they're like and they're like doing like a montage of them like messing up the paintings. And I was like, I was laughing, but I was just like, it took me out of the movie a bit. I was like, wait, what?
Well, this movie never really took itself too seriously. It never reached the nonsense of Joel
The
Schumacher,
last
but it
two.
was serious in atmosphere and looks. It
Yeah,
wasn't serious in story. So that's when that nonsense where he handshakes that one guy with the electric handshake
yeah,
and kills him.
yeah.
Again, this was '89. It's
No,
way
no,
before Chris Nolan did his
I,
nonsense.
I give it. I keep it in its in its context. So I was like, I wasn't gonna rip on the movie for it. It was just like scenes like that made me chuckle. Like, but it was just like, I guess because seeing Heath Ledger's Joker first, and then going to that, you're like, wait, there's a big contrast, but it's still Jack Nicholson. I thought it still was fine, but it's just that scene took me out. I was like giggling at it.
Yeah, because like for the context, like the Batman in live action before this was what the '60s cartoon or the live action. So yeah, comparing it to I guess the Christopher Nolan, you got to remember what this was compared to. Like this was considered, I guess, what Nolan was to this movie at
And also too,
the
like
time.
in that series, like when you look at the other villains and their antics, it's not out of place at all. But
So Batman Returns follows
Wait,
this.
before we go, I
Oh
wanted to mention one
God,
more thing about the movie.
yes.
It's not chin related.
I hope so.
It's the score. I've
Yes,
always liked the score. It's
yes.
very the iconic Batman theme. I can see, everyone knows why it's endured for so long. It's great.
yeah,
Like it
because
was used in the Batman animated series, I think.
that was also I think in the
Uh,
Lego games, the Lego Batman games. That was
Was
the same
that?
score.
I know it was in Batman Justice League. It was in Justice League, the the
Well,
Whedon version.
for a second, yeah. Well, because Danny Elfman uh, did the score for the Whedon version.
But yes, this is probably the best Batman theme.
It's bold. So now let's get to Batman Returns. And boy, is this one a lot worse than the '89 one. This is Tim Burton just going full nuts. It's very stylized and it has that weird Tim Burton element because at least the '89 one was dialed back a little bit. Didn't have all that weird imagery and stuff like this, but boy, this. Ugh. I never liked this one too much.
Are you telling me that you didn't like the Penguin had a legit army of penguins?
That had bombs strapped to them? Yes.
He was literally raised by penguins.
The fact is, like, he's so deformed. He has
He
three
has like
fingers.
yeah, 3 fingers. He's always oozing like black juice out of his mouth.
See, when you mentioned that, I didn't know what
It's
you meant, but
disgusting.
I don't think that was intentional though, because then like they paint his gums black. That's
Did,
probably like the
did
paint
they?
leaking from his mouth.
Did they?
Yeah, or like yeah, it was either his gums or like his lips were black. So I'm assuming that was like the paint coming out of his mouth while he was talking.
Well,
Like I don't think that was
it was definitely
intentional.
intentional because if someone saw that, they would have been like, "Why is his mouth doing that?" So someone saw that and okayed it.
especially
I
since
don't
he,
think it was intentional.
especially since Danny DeVito does have a weak chin.
This is true.
Well, he's supposed to be, the penguin.
But Craig, I'm surprised you didn't love this one. They had Catwoman in it for you.
Yeah, I did not like Catwoman, to no one's
They
surprise.
took her so literal as a cat, like she was resuscitated by cats.
Yeah, then she's
So
like
so literal.
Yeah, I was gonna say we had two characters in this that were literally like taken care of by their animal counterpart.
no, because like there was a scene, I think it was towards the end where she's like, I want to like take a shower, clean myself, and she's literally cleaning herself like a cat, like licking herself.
So
She wasn't
gross.
like licking herself; she's licking her costume.
So gross.
It's like I don't know what were they thinking.
This movie just is just disgusting.
Also, Penguin's plan was pretty dark considering the time that it came out.
Also,
Like
Guthix.
like no, I mean like he wanted to literally kidnap and kill all like the firstborn like sons in like Gotham at the end. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, for really no no reason.
It was because his like because his parents left him in a sewer.
Yeah, all deformed. Yeah, that was funny too. Like they just like threw the carriage and like, yeah, whatever. No one's gonna notice that we just murdered our son.
And it's pretty like crazy how they're able to get like such like well-known actors for like these movies because this one you had Danny DeVito,
I was gonna say
Keaton,
that too.
Christopher Walken was the crime boss guy that was working with
Max
Penguin.
Shrek.
And then who was the
Michelle
actress?
Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Michelle Pfeiffer. She's a well-known actress too. Like they were able to get some like A-listers in this.
Not just this, I think all of them
They
really.
had
I
Pat
mean,
Hingle.
well, like Jack Nicholson, wasn't he like a big time actor at the time?
He
Yeah,
was.
they actually yeah, like I think
Well,
to
he
get him
robbed
onto
them pretty much.
yeah, yeah. And he also like basically to get him like he had like a strict shooting schedule and everything.
He took like 40% of the revenue gross from the box office. It was something crazy that
Wasn't he also
he
getting
took.
paid like 50 million for the movie too,
No,
plus the
no way,
box
50
office?
million.
Yeah.
Not that time.
Yeah, probably not 50 million, but
It was
he
something
pretty
like he
much
was already
robbed
getting.
Warner Brothers, and his name was his name is the top billed name on the movie, at least for the '89 one.
That's what I wanted to mention before. Like, I think that's why he probably got more screen time because he was the bigger actor in the last movie.
Which I
You're
think,
saying
for the
that
rest of that, it's okay. I didn't really mind it too much because Jack Nicholson was good. You know, if it was Jared Leto top billed as Joker, it would have been insufferable.
I'm saying I think that's probably why it wasn't like a creative decision, it was more of like a financial decision.
Yeah, you're probably right. So let's continue with Batman Returns. Yeah, what a weird one this is. Again, it's so literal.
But also too, like I think part of the plot was the Penguin, they wanted to have them run for mayor and win.
Yes, that was like a subplot.
That was like I guess the part of the plot with like the businessman, and then he wanted to build like a reactor or something. A lot of weird stuff being thrown around. And it's funny too, like when they introduced the Penguin to like his campaign team, he bites the woman in the face.
Hey, doesn't he bite her in the nose?
Like the moment like she approached like this like wretched husk, like this wretched creature from the attic, brought down, he bites her in the face, and he's like, and like the businessman's like, "Oh, it's okay, it's okay." It's like, no, he just like this weirdo bit someone in the face. He's gonna run for mayor.
Or what was it like when Penguin like returned to like his underground lair? He's literally like in one of those like paddle like those duck boats, like where you like push it, like you like pedal it with your feet. So weird.
Yes. I don't really have too much more to say about this weird, gross, disgusting movie. I guess you could say the atmosphere is good. And Batman murders somebody by strapping a bomb to them and throwing them off the side of a railing. That's he makes that dumb face where his teeth stick out.
That was just the one thing I do like about, I guess, like, these movies in general. I guess like the look of Gotham, like it's really gross and dirty. It always feels really cramped too.
Oh yeah, that was obviously intentional.
I
I
know it's
think
intentional, but I like the look of it.
I read somewhere for the first Batman movie when they were designing Gotham, the production designer deliberately said that, or not deliberately, he said he wanted to make Gotham as ugly as possible with its set design,
I mean, it works
and
because that's what I like.
he achieved it.
Because I think like in the first one, maybe this one too, there's like trash. There's always like trash in some of the scenes, like of just Gotham. It's like trash everywhere on the floor. Oh God, it's. I mean, it's good for the movie, just kind of funny too. How gross it is.
And we can't forget to talk about the scene towards the end where he's with Max Shrek, or Batman's with Max Shrek and Catwoman, and he takes off his cowl, but you can clearly see the eyeshadow or the eye paint around it, and as soon as he takes it off, it's gone.
I think it was funny too, like when like he doesn't like take off the cowl, he
He
rips
rips
it
it
off.
off.
Like he couldn't think of a better way to take off the cowl.
Yeah, I don't know why
Yeah.
they hated or they didn't want to him have his the black spots around his eyes. I don't see what the big deal is.
It's funny because in the Batman, he has that. And it's not really that distracting.
Yeah.
Like when they show like he takes off the cowl, and he's got like the whatever.
What were you about to
The
say,
strong
Daniel?
chin. Oh no, no, I was just gonna say like with Batman just killing people because he even killed Joker in the first one. He doesn't care.
And you know, it isn't. Part of me, what makes me not have it bother me so much is that he's not killing people, and he's brutal, and he's screaming and
Yeah,
punching people in the face.
it's
It's
kind of it kind of flow like it's not going out of its way to like you were saying. It's not over the top where he's driving a car through people's other people's cars and blowing them up unnecessarily. It's
It's not
just kind of
glorifying the violence.
yeah.
yeah.
It just kind of happens and then it moves on.
And this Batman seems to like killing people by blowing them up. His bomb was attached to that one guy. He blows up the whole factory in the first one.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because in the first one, what was it? He literally like he armors up his car. They're just all these gangsters are unloading on it, and then you just see it come out the side and drop, and then the next shot is just of the building blowing up.
Yeah.
Oh, going back to the Catwoman hate, the way
Yes.
she dies at the end of the movie,
She
where
didn't
like
die.
the guys, well, like she shoots him, like the businessman keeps shooting her, and she's like, "I got 9 lives, six,
Oh yeah.
five, four," and
Again,
then
so
she wastes
literal.
her, yeah, and then she wastes her last life, I guess, killing both of them.
I thought she had one more life after that.
I thought she
She had like
died because like
two.
she fries herself like kissing him.
Yeah, but her body was gone.
I think that was
Oh,
her eighth life, Craig.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then she's seen at the end, like when they
She's
show
on
the
a
bats.
rooftop.
Yeah,
I must have missed that. Well, the point is the fact that she's like counting down her lives as she got shot.
Yeah, she
yeah,
survives at
like
the end. I'm literally reading the Wikipedia, Craig.
Oh,
yeah. that like I think they went to like the like she left like behind a cat for Bruce as like a farewell gift or something like that. But
I have
yeah,
six lives left. 5, 4, 3.
now if this was Snyder, it'd be like I have 8 limbs left. 5 just starts getting like hacked off,
Yeah, until
Oh,
she's just a
God.
torso and a head.
like from Monty Python.
Come on. Yeah, but I do not. This movie was definitely a step down. Definitely, I would probably say one of my least favorite because there's no campiness to enjoy. It,
It's just weird. I know we keep saying that word to describe it, but it really
I
is an
mean,
odd movie.
I mean, it do. I mean, it's already gonna be weird when it's like Tim Burton. He does like his movies are pretty like bizarre. Like when you think of like Beetlejuice, and then like he did what was the animated one he did? The Night Before like Halloween or something like
the
that. Night
Nightmare
Before
Before
I don't think he directed
Christmas.
that though.
Nightmare. No, I thought he did Nightmare Before Christmas. That was him.
Let me look it up. But continue your thought.
But so like you like already coming into his movies, like
He
he
wrote
does
the
have
story
pretty
for
weird.
it.
Yeah, so
He didn't direct it though.
Close enough. He's involved.
All right, continue.
but I, yeah, but I know like his movies are already like kind of bizarre and stuff. He does have like the weird, setting and stuff. You if you ever watched like Beetlejuice, it's a very weird, like dark. He has like a very dark humor too and stuff. So, which the dark element can fit Batman like in the first one, but this one it definitely got a little bizarre.
He went too
Not in
far
a
in a
good
few
way.
places. Yeah,
I wonder too if like this was like the idea in the 80s where the movie's successful, so they'd make a sequel and just, bigger, louder, more of the same.
well, it's
Yeah,
90.
like
This is 92, Craig.
well, the point is like at that time like sequels are just, more of the same. More of what they think is what the people want, but never done as well.
Yeah,
More chins.
huge step
Yes.
down. Where you have little penguin creatures with bombs strapped to their chest running around.
Yeah, I was surprised like he didn't, they didn't stick closer to Penguin as an actual character. Like in the comics, he's just like a mob boss.
Doesn't he have those deformed fingers on the comics? I mean, I don't know.
No, no, in the comics, he's like
Oh,
he's literally just a short guy. He has
the
like the mob. He
monocle,
has
yeah,
yeah the monocle. He usually has the pipe.
and the umbrella that has a gun in it.
Yeah, but he's not some deformed, weird juice oozing creature that lives in a sewer.
It literally eats like fish.
Yeah.
That's nasty. So yeah, Batman Returns, a big step down from the '89 one. I
In your
never,
opinion.
I yes, it is my opinion, but our opinion here is fact, so it's
Yes,
true. Batman Forever. I know, Craig, you just finished watching this today.
I did.
Originally, this was supposed to be called Batman and Robin, but the Warner Brothers studio executives, being the geniuses they are, told him to call this Batman Forever, even though the fourth one should have been called Batman Forever. Doesn't make any sense, but again, this one, directed by Joel Schumacher, is very odd and is very bad at the same time.
I would say this one probably is the weakest out of the entire series,
I would,
for me at least.
uh, I could see that.
I, I, I get I know probably most will say the last one, Batman and Robin's the worst one, but again, like I stated, like Craig and I stated, I just enjoy it so much because it's so bad and cheesy. I'll take that one over this one any day, but I think for me this one's the weakest.
I like how people like The Room a lot. Not they like it ironically.
Those people are dumb. There's nothing to
No,
enjoy about that.
people say they like The Room because they like how bad it is and like watching it. It's a very quotable bad movie.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Yeah, stupid stuff like that.
Did they see that movie though? Because it is really boring. I watched it with some friends and it is so
No,
boring.
no, I agree with that. It is boring.
Like,
But
there's
I,
moments there
I,
are.
I,
we want
I
to
only
skip.
watched Yeah.
We
What
don't
were
want
you
to
gonna
skip too
say?
far ahead for Batman and Robin, but at least that is entertaining. The Room is just horrible. It is so boring.
You're tearing me apart,
But
Lisa.
let's get to Batman Forever. I can't believe. I don't know how much they paid Tommy Lee Jones, who is respected. I think he 2 years prior to this, he won an Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor for The Fugitive. And they take this respected actor, and then as Two Face, he's just terrible. I can't
Well,
imagine why. They must have thrown so much money at him for this.
probably, but also too, like I've always seen him as like in every movie I've seen him in, he's always like the a very like just serious, like never has a smile on his face kind of guy. And like to have him like being the Two Face where he's like laughing and cackling, like I don't know, like it's so odd. Like
Especially considering the time that this movie came out, it wasn't too long. Like in the same time frame, he did what was it? The
The
Fugitive with Harrison
Fugitive.
Ford,
Mm-hmm.
which
He
which
won the
was a very
Academy Award.
yeah. So that, and then you go to this, and then he's working alongside Jim Carrey, who he didn't like.
Yeah, I was gonna mention that he pulled Carrie aside apparently and said like, "I really don't like you." He said something crazy like that.
but see, that's why it's so hard to buy him as Two Face. Like he
Yeah.
looks like so grumpy, and then he's like running around as this guy with like a half smile on his face, like yelling and like screaming.
At least like Nicholson and DeVito can convey that craziness if they need to in a role, but Tommy Lee is just so serious that it's yeah.
It's just crazy. Like I feel like they can like sell the part because they're good at playing those kinds of like he's Frank from It's Always Sunny. Uh,
Also, too, DeVito did he did Twins before Batman. Like he's been in comedic roles where they can at least get into that element. Or Jack Nicholson just he's just crazy, and he has the look for Joker too. Like Tommy Lee Jones really didn't have the look for it too.
So I just did some research.
and
Oh, Craig, you know what? You go. You go.
ooh, real time.
I was
I
gonna
was gonna say
say
too,
that.
like just like
Yeah, yeah,
oh
you go.
no, fine, you keep cutting me off. Just
Just go,
go.
Craig. Just go.
Oh, I was gonna say like the special effects and like the costume look terrible too. Like not even helping him with that.
Yeah.
Like the half burn on his face, it was like so bad, like such bad makeup. Like his hair is like different.
It looked like
I,
plastic on his
I
face.
did I did laugh though when he had like the two women. One was dressed for the one side of his suit, and one was dressed for the other.
Or like that room, it was
Yeah, you
literally
can't
like the
forget the
room thing they cut
decor.
in half. Yeah, like literally one room was like white, other room was like black. Like it's so literal. But now you go.
Yeah, I was gonna say Tommy Lee Jones told Jim Carrey that he hated him and his films, and that he only accepted the role because his son who was 11 at the time, said Two Face was his favorite character. So that's why he did it.
He
Imagine
probably
hating a guy
dreaded
that
every
much.
day coming to set,
He's like, I'm gonna
knowing
beat
that
my
he'd have to,
son when I get home.
knowing he had to see Jim Carrey.
Yes, and Jim Carrey in this movie is Jim Carrey. He's the same
Yeah.
oddball goof guy who wears a really tight question mark suit.
Very flamboyant too.
And the day you can't forget his over the top gold question mark cane to go with it.
I think he has that in the comics, right?
He probably does.
Tell me why they had it, but still, it's like very odd and very distracting.
Also, like the plan for them was like Riddler's plan was
He
just
wanted
to
to get
like
like info out of everybody by sticking those boxes of his on top of people's TVs around the world.
and the best is it literally was called the box.
And they introduced Robin in this movie. Again, I
I
don't know
mean,
anything about Robin, but I would imagine his parents aren't killed in the way they are in this movie, or his family.
I think they actually are.
Really?
I mean, maybe not by the Two Face, but I think they are killed like in a circus accident.
Oh, okay. I take that back then.
I think, from my limited knowledge.
I know a lot of people hate Robin, but this is probably terrible to say. He might be the best part of the movie.
I was gonna say that too, because like watching it, like I feel like has the strongest motivation of any character there. Even the villains are even
Well,
Batman.
not only that, I think it's because Chris O'Donnell was a young guy at the time, and he had a lot maybe writing on this movie. Well, the other people like Carrie and Val Kilmer, Tommy Lee Jones clearly don't care, and they're just phoning it in. I thought Val Kilmer was terrible as Batman. He always had his mouth open, like he was some Venus flytrap. He just didn't seem convincing.
That's a new one.
Just rewatch it. Well, not rewatch it. Rewatch
No, I'm
clips.
not gonna rewatch
Yeah,
it.
his mouth is always open. And his suit, as we alluded to earlier, with the bat nipples. Oh God.
I guess his mouth was open because he was constantly in shock and looking at Tommy Lee Jones's Two-Face.
And even Gotham looks so much worse in this movie. It's all neon green and pink.
I think that was like the '90s look.
The
Also-
architecture is just so bizarre.
Yeah. I also wanted to say the way they like killed Two-Face was, I thought, kind of bad.
That was so funny.
It's good he kept all those coins on him.
Yeah, he has to flip his coin, so they just launched a bunch of coins at him, and he tripped and fell to his death.
No, the best part too is not only this, but like in the context of the movie where Batman's like telling Robin, "Don't try to kill Two-Face. Don't get revenge. It's never going to
We'll
be
make you feel
satisfying."
better. Yeah.
Yeah, then he literally goes and kills Two-Face
In front of
Robbing
Robin.
Yeah, robbing that from him in front of him. Like at the very least, yeah, Robin could have thrown. I mean, I guess that would have gone against his whole "I can't kill you," but what does it matter? Batman's gonna do it.
Yeah, I think the best part of this movie is when the Riddler destroys the Batcave.
What does Jim Carrey make
So
him do?
goofy. And they pretend to be the kids that twick or tweet, and they knock out Alfred.
Oh yeah.
He says, like, when he opens the door with his cane, he says something like, "Spank me."
No, I
was
think
an
it was
accent.
I think it was Spank You.
No, he says, "Spank me," I think, when he opens the door.
Wearing his very flamboyant suit.
And his overly orange hair.
I was gonna say another thing that really creeped me
He
out
does say
was
"Spank me," yeah. Let's Craig go.
no, what creeped me out was that doctor, the psychologist who was in love with Batman.
Dr. Chase Meridian.
Yeah, she's like really lusting after him. I was like, oh my God, this is starting to get creepy. And Batman's like falling for him. Like she is like has so many red flags over her. Like she is going to become a villain down the road. Like why would you fall for her? Like she is the kind of person that become Harley Quinn before Harley Quinn became a thing.
We also can't forget in the great courtroom scene
Oh, God.
when when the guy just had a thing of acid on him to throw at Harvey Dent, and Batman's in his suit in the courtroom.
In broad daylight. It's a good thing they had all those angles to capture that moment.
Like no one wanted to shake this goon down before he got on the stand.
Yeah.
Like how do you just hide like a jar of acid on you?
Yeah, how did they not see that? He has like a bucket with him. And he just covers one side of it with a piece of paper. Again, I don't know anything about Two-Face and Batman comics. So I'm going to assume that that's somewhat comic accurate. I think Baroni actually, or Carmine Falcone, one of those guys, did that though, right? Is that true?
Yeah, I'm not the person to ask.
Yeah, I'm not like really a Batman
Let's just assume. Let's just assume.
We're not doing enough research for our viewers.
Yes.
We're letting them down.
If any of you subscribers out there know, message us.
And call us out, make fun of us, and call us dumb for not knowing. I also like the part where Two-Face was pretending to be an old woman while Batman's driving the Batmobile. And he takes off the thing and his little robe, and he gets a missile launcher from the cradle.
Well, the other thing too I thought was kind of funny was when Robin he goes and steals the Batmobile, and then he just like shows up in some like random like ghetto in Gotham, and he just like pops up like, yeah, I'm Batman. They're trying to show off like to the girls there. It's like, what are you doing? Like
Yeah,
he's like a teenager would do, and he's clearly like not a teenager.
I think he's
yeah. I mean,
19. They're supposed to be 19.
that's
He
a
doesn't look
saving
19.
grace. Thank God that these movies did not take themselves too serious at all.
Oh yeah, I mean that's the only like I guess watchability part of it is like how dumb and goofy it is. Like if they were playing it
Yeah.
more serious, oh my God, more painful to sit through.
Didn't they have like
Yes.
Gotham like more lit up? Like it was kind of neon lit at times, like in the
We're
downtown.
not listening. That's what I said earlier.
No, I don't listen to half the things you say, especially with your weak chin.
That's
I'm
just
gonna
not
let sit. Are
true.
you
That's
okay?
actually not true.
What, Craig?
I'm gonna let sit the weak chin. Are you okay?
No, I was saying Colin has a weak chin.
That's just
Scrub.
that's just not
Yeah.
true.
I don't know. Better dox yourself and prove us wrong.
Just that's just not true. Anyway, let's continue. Um, what else is there really to say about this? Jim Carrey is Jim Carrey. Chris O'Donnell is the best part of the movie. Chase
So like,
Meridian is a creep.
like she really creeped
A
me out. Like I was
lustful
getting
creep.
uncomfortable. Looks like, yeah, Batman, meet me in my apartment.
Can you imagine if the roles were reversed and I was like Batman doing that? How creepy it would have been, and everyone would have been like, "Oh my god."
Like she like was basically set up to be Harley Quinn. Like she was like clearly deranged. All she needs to do is Batman to reject her enough times, and she would like join the Joker and go on a killing spree or something.
Bats aren't rodents, Doctor Meridian.
Again, like for this movie, they had Tommy Lee Jones, Jim Carrey. I mean, Val
Nicole
Kilmer
Kidman.
was, Nicole Kidman. I mean, Val Kilmer. I don't know about him, but I know a decade before he was Iceman, the Iceman.
No, yeah.
I
But
mean, I
also,
forgot how much you like that movie.
I saw this actor's name because he has a very
We
weird
can talk
name.
about that one another time.
What, Craig?
We missed an actor. It was Odo from Star Trek. I don't know how to say his name.
What?
Yeah,
Rene
isn't he like he's like
Auberjonois.
French, right?
I have no idea. But he has a very weird name. So when I saw the credits, I saw his name and I recognized it immediately.
I only know him as Odo, and he was in It's Always Sunny as Diesel
Right.
teacher.
He broke his back or something.
Is there anything else about Batman Forever? It's not very
Thank God
good.
it's over.
It's not very good. Daniel, any final thoughts before we move on to our last feature film?
Don't watch it.
Yes, or if you do watch it knowing how much Tommy Lee Jones
Watching with the
hates.
crowd.
Yeah, that and watch it knowing how much Tommy Lee Jones hates Jim Carrey every time they're on screen together. Like sometimes you could just see especially when Jim Carrey first introduces himself to Two-Face, you could really see the seething anger he has for Jim Carrey.
I'm surprised they didn't. I was gonna say Tommy Lee Jones probably asked for more times that Two Face hits Riddler in the movie. Probably trying to get that in the script.
At one
Can I
point,
pretend to shoot him just for fun of
yeah,
it?
can there be a real bullet in here and I could shoot him?
You guys just pretend.
Yeah, it's a movie. Just
That's the
pretend.
movie.
Let's not pretend for Alec Baldwin. Anyway, let's continue on. So the last movie of the Batman quadrilogy, whatever, is Batman and Robin with George Clooney as Batman. And you know what? I guess you guys could talk about now why you like this movie so much.
I mean, obviously, it's not a seriously good movie. It's just how bad it is and how cheesy all the puns, all the jokes they have. That to me is what makes it so enjoyable. It's obviously it's not anything great about it. It's what's not great about it. It's what I enjoy.
I
That
agree.
makes sense.
Especially Arnold. Arnold absolutely steals the show as Mr. Freeze.
Every line is like a pun.
I know. I just feel like he had so much fun with the role. Like just be like he definitely didn't take it serious, but he just had such a fun time with it. Even Poison Ivy and Bane, like they were kind of ridiculous
Yeah, they were
too.
hamming it up.
I don't
So
like Bane's like this like muscle bound freak. Like,
I
"Argh!"
like the part when he had like a fedora hat on and a trench coat.
and a fur coat.
Yeah, as a disguise.
He was her limo driver. Wait, did he have that on like under his gorilla suit? Like, did they both come out of the gorilla suit and he was just dressed like that?
I think she was in the gorilla suit. Poison Ivy.
Would have been better, but yeah, it was just it was so ridiculous and so cheesy. Like they just didn't care. And that's what made it great. Even Batman 2 was like they definitely went over the top with how he conveniently had everything on him. The Bat credit card,
That credit card.
or like
What
Poison
even
Ivy
Batman
goes to
without it?
Poison Ivy goes to kiss him, and they have the they have like the lip on them to
Right.
With the
guard them.
fake lips. Or were they chasing Mr. Freeze and they have like the bat skis? And they just
But
like
that was
clap their feet together.
that was the opening scene when they're in when Freeze and his hockey goons are robbing the museum, and he's just and he like
It,
freezed up everything, and so like his hockey goons literally have hockey sticks, and they're playing hockey with like this like priceless diamond. And so Batman and Robin like click it and have ice skates on, and they're like playing hockey with them.
Yeah, they had no idea that they were gonna fight Mr. Freeze in the beginning, or at least prepare for that. And they have the ice skates in their shoes.
Yeah, that's why like this one's so to me it's the best one. Like it's just so much fun. They just don't care at all.
like, Arnold, like every line was a pun. Like, let's kill the dinosaurs. The Ice Age.
Alright,
Chill,
everyone,
Batman.
chill. Freeze well, bird boy.
How ice of you to drop by.
Allow me to break the ice. Or when he shows up at that auction thing and he bursts out, "Alright, everyone, chill." Freezing everyone, I love it.
But the best part is when everyone looks like when they're frozen, it just looks like they have plastic on them.
Yeah, he literally has like a frozen lair. The best is too is he's smoking a cigar in his frozen lair, and he has like on like a bathrobe.
I mean, Arnold like wasn't even acting. Just they had the makeup on for filming.
He always wears that, the nice robe and ice or not ice bear, polar bear slippers.
Just film him smoking
So
a
Or also,
cigar.
one of his goons was literally named Frosty.
Frosty. So this movie also introduces Batwoman or Batgirl, whatever her name is.
Yeah, Batgirl.
She's related to Alfred. She's her Alfred's niece or whatever, not niece. Yeah, I think niece, right?
Yeah, that was like
Yeah,
her uncle. Despite the fact that he never
Uncle
mentioned her.
Alfred. Yeah, and Alfred is dying
Yeah.
of McGregor syndrome, something like that, right?
Yeah, the same thing killing Mr. Freeze's wife.
Yeah, it just so happens.
How convenient.
The funniest part at the end is when Mr. Freeze gives him the cure. It just looks like some dangerous chemical compound. It's like bright blue. Okay,
It's cold.
I'm just gonna. I just got this from a super villain. Let me give this to you.
Yeah, he'll be fine. He's old. If he dies anyway, not a big deal.
Yes, and I like how this movie was so bad that years later, Joel Schumacher apologized to everybody for
He's
the
nothing to
film.
apologize for.
Well, he did. And they're gonna do a fifth film. It says it's gonna be called Batman Unchained.
Whatever that means.
I think they were setting up to have like Harley Quinn and Scarecrow, if I'm not mistaken, in the next one.
Really,
Oh my
Harley
god,
Quinn?
that would have been a gold mine.
But I know that they were I think setting up to have Scarecrow as the next villain, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you're
If I
right.
did my
Scarecrow.
Oh my god, could you imagine he's like a real scarecrow brought to life?
Oh, don't give them any ideas.
He's half man, half scarecrow.
he just has an
A real
army of
person on the
crows.
outside. He's a
He
real
just has
person
an
on the
army-
outside, but he's got like the straw on the inside of his body. He has to eat straw to survive.
What's that? Isn't it from Trick or Treat? Isn't Sam like it's an actual pumpkin, right? That's what Scarecrow would be, except there's like hay inside of him.
It's something really stupid.
George
How much?
Clooney is
Wait,
bad. Oh,
I was
oh,
gonna ask, how much did Arnold? Didn't Arnold made like a lot of money on this
he was the
one?
top billed actor. Probably made a lot.
That's kind of funny. All four of these weren't like the villains, the top billed actor.
No,
Yeah.
only in two of them.
Joker and Mr.
And
Freeze.
Arnold.
Oh,
Yeah, I saw. I
Yeah.
read. I looked it up. Nicholson was he agreed his initial salary would be 6 million, but then he made 50 million with the box office revenues.
Yeah, he took like
Goblin.
40% or something, right? Wasn't it something crazy like
Yeah,
that?
yeah. So like he took he initially got 6 million, which I think it said his going rate was 10 million at the time, and then he got down to and then made 50 million. So
My God. George Clooney replaces Val Kilmer as Batman, and George. I feel like every Batman, like Michael Keaton, then Val Kilmer's worse, and then George Clooney is even more worse than Val Kilmer.
I mean, can you really blame him though with how bad the movie is?
Yes, but
I know he's terrible, but
uh,
like,
I would have
I don't.
appreciated if they were like Chris O'Donnell. They're trying. It's a terrible movie, but they're trying. He clearly is checked out. He doesn't care.
and I know we said like speaking of Robin, I know we said he was the best one in the last one, but
Yeah,
I
he's
think
not.
he was like really bad in this one.
Yeah, he's not too good in this one. No one's good in this besides Arnold, and
Well,
that he's
especially
good for the wrong reason.
especially when they have Robin trying to like help out Batgirl and stuff. Like then they had that stupid, what was it? That stupid like motorcycle chase scene, like race scene or whatever.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
That was so
Well,
bad.
you see, Daniel, I'm assuming this is what they were trying to go for. Where isn't she all mad because Alfred's dying and there's nothing they can do, so she wants to go out and take her anger out on other people? It's a
Well,
role
Like those
reversal
two.
of what Robin would
yeah,
do.
yeah. She's the rebellious teenager now.
And now Robin is more wise. He doesn't have an earring on anymore. He's more wise now.
Wait, was it this one or the last one where
Batman
Robin did
Forever,
that?
he had the earring on in Batman Forever.
No. I was gonna ask. He did that stupid laundry scene.
Batman Forever.
Oh yeah, that was
That was so
He's
bad.
doing kung fu and drying up the clothes.
And then he like winks at Alfred as he walks away, like, "Yeah, I just did that."
You're welcome.
I just made a mess everywhere. I did that.
No, he mopped up after. He tried to clean up the water.
No, he didn't. If you saw him like walking away at the end, there's just water everywhere.
No,
Oh, I
but
think he
no,
tried to.
no. Didn't he use like his kung fu moves with the mop and everything?
Yeah, he like dried
Yeah,
it out
something
by
really
punching
bad.
it.
Also, like his whole motivation in this movie is just so stupid. Like he's like mad at Batman for being like his sidekick. It's like, well, obviously, like he's the experienced, just stupid. Like the whole conflict. Like Batman won't let
Yeah.
me be the main guy.
Even though the whole point of the Batman Forever is them teaming up and working together and calling themselves partners. It took the whole
Yeah.
movie for Batman Forever for them to get to that point. And now all of a sudden
Yeah,
he's like, I want to be my own. Where's my Robin signal in the sky?
yeah. He was the stereotypical like hot-headed young hot shot.
And George Clooney's too
I,
busy bouncing his head around like a bobblehead. Every time, if you watch him in the movie, his head is always moving.
Let's pay attention to my next viewing.
I was too distracted by Arnold.
And what did Poison Ivy? What did she want? She like
She
wanted to
was
destroy
like,
Gotham or something, right?
Well, Freeze. I think her and Freeze had like the same idea, but just different ways of doing it. Like she wanted to. I think her whole thing was to like get plants to like take over the world, and like Gotham. And Freeze literally just wanted to send Gotham into an ice age while saving his wife.
well, obviously, yeah, nothing really made too much sense. But that's
Yeah.
not why the movie's great. It's all the cheesy stuff that we talked about before.
I wouldn't even say that's great.
You laugh when we watch this, so I don't want to hear it.
I do. And
Like, it's,
I can't help but look at the Wikipedia page, and it says when talking about the Batman and Robin, and it's primarily negative reviews. It says, and I quote, "Observers criticize the film for its toyetic and campy approach, and for homosexual innuendos added by Schumacher." So I guess one thing we did not mention was the why the contrast between Batman Returns and Batman Forever is literally night and day. Is because the Warner Bros. Executives, again being the geniuses they are, wanted the movie to sell more toys. So
That's what it's always about.
yeah, so they hired Schumacher for that, and that's why we got those two disaster films.
Also explains certain scenes why they have to have like in Batman Forever, they had the Bat Wing, the Bat Boat, and the Batmobile. Because that's how you sell more toys. You have every like different vehicle for them.
And then this one, you have the Bat credit card.
Yes,
Did you see when
to
it
pay for your
said
Bat toys.
it doesn't expire? It says it lasts forever. It said something dumb like that.
I guess it was paying tribute to Batman Forever.
Again, this should have been called Batman Forever because it's the fourth one.
Yeah, that would have been a better pun. That would have been perfect. A pun
Yeah,
for the
four
movie.
has
Title
the
for a
actual
pun.
four in it.
Oh man, they really missed out on that one.
Yeah, I don't know why this is called Batman and Robin.
Well, especially when they had Batgirl too, like Batman and Robin and Batgirl.
Yeah, and she's really bad too.
Yeah, like the other guys are like she's just bad at acting.
Everyone's bad in this movie. Everyone's just terrible.
Not Arnold.
Except maybe
Oh, stop
Alfred, who probably wasn't acting. He's probably in immense pain when he was on that bedside.
it.
Also, say she's bad, not like in like a camp way. I think just like actually just bad at acting. 'Cause I don't think I've ever seen her in anything else. Was she in anything else?
She was in The Diary of a Wimpy Kid, The Long Haul, or yeah, The Long Haul.
I mean,
Oh. No one saw that.
I think with the exception of like the three main, like with Poison Ivy, Freeze, and Batman, like didn't the Robin actor, didn't he
Chris
end up like
O'Donnell.
going? Yeah, didn't he? Isn't he like known for like one of those like CIS shows or like
Yeah,
cop?
you look at this and you feel kind of bad that their careers are killed. I mean, not George Clooney or even Arnold, but like Chris
Even though
O'Donnell's career was killed by this. I think he was in Cats and Dogs and he voiced some animal in that movie. I don't know.
Cats and dogs.
oh wait, I know he was also. I think it was before this movie. He was in the movie Scent of a Woman with like Al Pacino. I know. I think Pacino won like an Academy Award for that. So he was in that movie, but I think it was before this. So just a great way to nosedive your career before it starts.
He was a gambling man. He definitely lost.
Yeah. But even like George Clooney, I feel like he's always like the same guy in every movie he's in. Like the way he acts, I feel like he's very like serious and like dry. But
No emotion.
yeah, because I mean, I didn't see all the like Ocean 11 movies, but I did you?
No, I have not.
I have not. I've only seen the first one.
Does George Clooney basically act the same way?
Kinda. Just in a better movie, so I
Because
guess the hang of
he
it.
was also in what was it, the Dust Till Dawn, the Quentin Tarantino vampire movie, and he was kind of like the same in that. Anyway, not to get too
Never seen it.
sidetracked.
Yeah, I don't care about George Clooney. You seem to care about him a
Why
lot.
not? It's the chin.
Were you paying attention to that too? You're like, oh, it's not the
I'm just saying
costume
it
or how he
sells the Batman
is.
look.
Nah, he was more focused on the nipples this time.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
bat nipples. The. I'm trying to imagine too, like when they make the costume, like do they actually like have the nipples where it's supposed to be? Like just like all the stupid stuff they add. Like
You're
they gotta
saying
make
to
the
me if
ads
someone came up
realistic.
to them and touched the bat nipple, they would say your nipple's right underneath there. Is that what you're saying, Craig?
I'm just saying, like it's like a mold of their body. Like they actually try to make it like realistic. I'm. Well, looks like you look at the costume. It's like, well, who even add that in the first place?
Like when Joel Schumacher had them fitted for the suit, he had that measured as well.
Oh yeah, who do you think did the measuring?
Don't you want to get a professional? No, no, no. I'm a hands-on director.
I am the professional.
I was gonna say, like, just looking at the whole quadrilogy, one thing I guess, watching all these so close, like how similar all the villains are.
They're all
I
crazy.
mean, I know you could, well, but I mean, I know you could say that about Batman
And
villains,
they're
but
all and they're all very cartoonish and
I feel like
punny.
you could almost like just like they're all like all replaceable, really. Like, but like the Riddler, the Joker, all these guys are just so similar.
Well, the Joker, you kind of have to give at least early Joker
It
incarnations.
was the
You
first
you give
one,
a
so
pass to him being
Well,
cartoony because he is like one giant cartoon.
they get well. I mean, also that's how Joker should be. But like, the Riddler was basically kind of like the Joker,
Yes,
except
he
he
was.
flipped a coin or something. Even like all these guys too. Like they're all just like they all have like the same like a gang of people. They all seem to have like a gang of followers.
well, except as it went down, they all had like what was it? Except Penguin had and a Catwoman had a gang of animals.
No, even Penguin, he had his own army of goons.
Yeah, it was like that clown thing, whatever.
Yeah, that's when
I like
Batman
Remember,
blew
so
up
but
a
like
clown in that movie.
yeah.
like how similar all these villains were. Like, again, watching them all back to back to back, it's like
And all yeah,
it's the
and
same
all
every time.
yeah, and all the goons, like all their costumes are so fitted to the villain. Like they're not even like normal looking guys.
It's almost like a sports team. Like they're all like a different team.
Yeah, yeah, Mr. Freeze's the guys are about to play the Mighty Ducks.
Wonder what the super villain henchman rate is. They always have so many goons with them. How much do they
Remember
get
like how
paid?
they get how much they get paid? Yeah.
Is there like an
Do they
ad in
have
the
health care?
newspaper? You want to steal some stuff?
We provide dental.
Like all, even in Batman Forever with Two Face, like all the goons had like half guns, where the one was one side of the gun was one color and the other. They all had the dumb masks on.
Like I said, it feels like a sports team. Like they gotta wear like your guys'
Yeah.
outfit represent.
Yeah, I was surprised like one of Mr. Freeze says one of his henchmen has like a C for like a captain.
Well, half C.
Well, no, that'd be Two Face.
Yeah, that'd be Two Face.
And
The
villains
captain
mixed up.
patch on Mr. Freeze's henchman would be frozen.
And then the back of his jersey says Goon number 1.
Goon leader number one.
Also, another thing too, I was thinking is how no other movie has really tried to do Robin again. I guess this kind of killed the idea of Robin for any potential future movie. Because I know the closest we got was The Dark Knight Rises, how they had Robin at the end, but that was more of him replacing Batman, not being, like Batman's partner. I guess no other movie wants to touch that.
Well, I guess it's like the original Batman 2 with Burt Ward, where it is a silly concept where you have this
Oh
childish
yeah, that
sidekick.
too.
And especially if Batman's more serious, you're not really going to have some child running around with Batman.
I get that too, but like I'm just surprised no one's even like attempted it, like a realistic Robin,
Well, Robin in a
I
way
guess it's
is
really
like,
just killed the idea.
yeah, he is like Batman, so it is derivative to have essentially two Batmans on the same team.
Well, in a power sense, but I feel like, the
Yeah,
dynamic, maybe Batman, who's a little older, he takes under a younger Robin. Maybe not like a kid, maybe he's 18 to kind of help guide him. He's been around the block.
they could have had that with your favorite Bat flick.
Well, that, I mean, I guess they were tried to have that, but
I mean, they hinted at that Joker killed him, but they could have at least
it was
had him kill
Harley.
him.
Yeah, I think
Harley killed him.
Harley.
Because I remember in the Suicide Squad opening, they mentioned it.
Yeah, you would remember that
I
clown.
would because it was really bad. Just that's an interesting thought. No one wants to do Robin anymore.
Can't say I blame them. Unless they do Nightwing. I know of Nightwing. I think I know who that is.
Well, they have like different
Well,
iterations of like
that is
Robin.
Robin grown up.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
could do something
they
like
do
that. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a Batman expert.
I'm not either. I'm just saying, like, because Robin's he's pretty famous too. Batman and Robin.
If he's so
They're a duo.
famous, then how come Chris O'Donnell isn't famous anymore. Explain that one to me. Checkmate.
There's nothing to compare. Nothing to it's not even like what you're comparing it to.
Any final thoughts, boys, on Batman and Robin, or any final thoughts on the quadrilogy too?
Batman and Robin is still my favorite. You can't
Yeah,
convince me
I would
otherwise.
say
At least four.
watch the first
Creatures.
one, skip the next two, and watch Batman and Robin.
Well, Colin, you're outnumbered, so you're the
You guys
wrong
are
one in
just-
this
you guys are
situation.
just creatures.
Like the Penguin.
Yes. All right, I guess.
Well, you're numbered, so
Yeah, you got me. I would say only watch if you're serious. Only watch the '89 Batman. Skip the rest. But if you want some good old campy fun, do watch Batman and Robin over Batman Forever. Batman and Robin is objectively more fun than Batman Forever. Batman Forever has stretches of being boring. So
Oh, you're
Yeah.
just skipping Batman Returns.
yeah, skip that one. That one is just nonsense. Not a good not a good nonsense. I don't know, we already talked about it, so. What
we?
say you, Daniel?
Yeah, I said watch the first one, skip the next two, and then
Yeah, you did
enjoy
say
the
that.
last one.
All right, then. It's been our episode. We're the Unbiased Opinion, where everyone's opinion is biased except ours. I've been Colin.
I've been Craig.
Yes.
And I've been Daniel.
Unfortunately. All right, yeah, that's it. That's our episode.